All right. I am here with John Cook, Vice President of Sales from NDC. John and his team have spent a tremendous amount of time working with our distributor customers as well as our manufacturers. And in fact, John, my first question is, you came to us with this, we need to do something for our distributors to open safe and successfully. What brought that idea to your mind?
Yeah, I think during this time, most people are starving for information, right, on what regulations or what are regulatory changes, whether it be state or nationally, and how does it differ across market segmentations that they're servicing. And so the whole genesis was to help to provide them with the resources from credible outlets so that they can go to their customers and let them know, here's what we're seeing, here's what we know that you need to reopen safely that you may not even be thinking about. Because your concern is trying to get your business reopened. And so we hope that we could bring some consolidated resources to them, one, to streamline how quickly they could get back to business, but then also to make sure they're doing it in the right, safe manner.
So you talk about resources. I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to make you say it. What type of resources has NDC built to help these distributors know what they need or know what to talk to their customers about reopening?
Yeah, great question, Ian. And certainly we've been able to work in conjunction with our fantastic marketing department, Ian's group, to be able to put the information in a place where you can readily access it. But we've been working with, obviously, the CDC. We've worked with our partners at HIDA. They've been able to really put together great information about what these changes are, what are some of the hot products they need to be thinking about, what are even some of the changes that have occurred with how to utilize certain products, which has been eye-opening to me to know that there are different ways that you can continue to use certain products. And so, we've reached out to the folks that know best, right, versus us making up our own information to make sure that it's the correct, credible information they need.
Yes, no, you're right. When we came to us, and your team heard from their customers that there needed to be a central area of validated information, we went to HIDA. HIDA gave us some great information that we posted on the member site. And a lot of it is even eye-opening. There's a lot of new customers, whether it be in elective surgery or dental, rehab, who now have a whole different set of product categories that they need to make sure they have on hand. Tell me, what's the response been from the sales team as far as guiding their customers with some of these new regulations or legislation?
Yeah, I think it's a learning experience for all of us. We have to make sure that we're staying as up to date with the changes we can, but also making sure that we know how to find the right resources to point them to. And certainly the resource center that you guys have helped us to assemble on the websites through NDC has been a great tool for that. Certainly our distributor partners are, I believe, thankful, in information, keeping them up to date as quickly as possible, because a lot of things have changed, right? We've seen so many different thoughts on what is effective PPE usage and how things have changed as we've learned more about, COVID-19. And so just having the ability to keep them up to date as soon as possible, not only with new products, but also just what's going on with our key manufacturer partners, because so much has changed with them. And so being able to come to NDC to get all the updates information for all the products, all the regulations, all the manufacturers has been very helpful for them.
That's awesome. Now, I know because I've been lucky enough to sit in on a lot of your sales meetings that data is a huge thing for you and access to data. Anything you're seeing or any data that you have that's allowing people to understand what's opening faster than others, or those types of questions?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. NDC has been down this track for BI project for quite some time, and it's more needed now than ever, especially as we look at buying patterns, trends. We're working with our manufacturers from production supply standpoint, trying to get in the production schedules all the way into 2021 at this point is what some of the timeframes that we're looking at with our partners based off of the products. But working with one key manufacturer partner here recently regarding surgery centers and hospitals reopening, and they were wanting to know, how likely were they to reopen? What are the capacities at which they think they're going to reopen? And by having that data, it actually helps us to know what future forecast looks like. It can help us plan with our purchasing team to increase, decrease, or modify certain SKU purchases with manufacturer partners, and also give manufacturers a heads up so they can plan accordingly as well. And it's more critical now because so many new products, as you mentioned, Ian, are being needed that we historically would not have planned for or had any kind of historical data to go off of. And so it's important now to work with those manufacturer partners and our distributors closely to understand what the future demand looks like.
That's awesome. I commend you and your team. Though, you know, an inside sales team at one time was thought of dialing for dollars, but the work that you guys put into the phone calls, the data that you guys synthesize, the products, the resources that you do, it's a first-class job and a first-class operation. So I tip my hat to you. Now did I hear some voices? How are you? Where are you now? And what are you doing? I thought I heard some rugrats running around.
You actually did. So I'm obviously working from home, as many of us are. I think on top of regulatory changes, it's we're dealing with lifestyle changes, right? How do you work from home? When in my case, you've got 3 young boys that are homeschooling, running around.
Yeah.
You never know when they're going to come in your video without any clothes on. So got to be careful to keep my office doors shut.
Well, on that note, I'm going to wrap us up here. One thing I do quickly, I rate your room. So first of all, I commend you on your paint color. I think that's avocado. If I'm
not sure, actually.
I'd kill you with the kids. The baby pictures outdo the car hubcaps. So I'm a big winner there unless you got something else that can top the baby pictures.
The only thing I've got in mind is something that many folks need, especially when you're a dad to 3 boys. So you don't have one of these.
John is well known for his dad jokes. So maybe next time we'll do a segment and we'll just do dad joke time with John. Appreciate the time, John. Thank you and stay healthy.
Thanks, Ian.